I'm making this particular video for all my boomer generation, the people from my parents and their generation. Not so much from my grandparents' generation, the Gray's generation, because they've predominantly got to enjoy, and a lot of them now are at the final stage of their life where pensions aren't necessarily as important as they might be for those who are now entering or getting soon to the time where they're going to enter into retirement. The years after they've worked for, 30, 40, maybe some of them 50 years of life, where they can now start to relax and enjoy the benefits of all the fruits of their labor. Well, I'm here to tell you that I wish the very, very, very best for those of you who did it honestly and who really deserve to now sit back, kick up their feet and relax and enjoy the benefits of all that hard work and labor and the resources that you expended over all those decades. But I want to let you know right now that your foolish belief in central planning, in your government, in those who you trusted to provide for you in the future, the very people that stole from you, that your trust is completely unfounded. And this is the big story by the AP. And if you're not aware, predominantly the most entrenched established media outlets on the planet, especially in the Western world, would be your AP, Associated Press, and Reuters. That's where all the political propagandists, though that's the central source and narrative presented by the collectivists, right? And the central planners. And even the AP on January 22nd in 2016, Jeff Mulvihill, the headline of his particular article is "Stock Market Tumble Could Keep Pension Funds Behind." This is something that most people, most of the older generations don't realize is, other than back when you could actually save by stashing stuff under your bed mattress or in your pillowcase or in a safe or in a deposit box or in a vault in a bank, most of your pensions, most of your unfunded liabilities that you expect to be returned, the dividends that you expect in the future, they've all been invested in the casino, the stock market, right? Because the stock market we talk about in the modern world is not like back in the day where it was just people investing in companies. We're talking about a big giant casino where people speculate and trade based on pure speculation and central planning, the ability to print fiat currencies and manipulate monetary policy. So there is no such thing as your money being set aside where you can draw from that pot of wealth and draw down from it over a certain finite period of time until your life is disposed of, and to be able to trust that it'll always be there. We now live in the world where all of these schemes are finally being shown for what they are: big, giant Ponzi schemes. Now, if the central planners win over the masses, and they still have the ability to steal from the masses and provide for you, well, as long as you're, still active contributing members of society, they want to take care of you. But that's the thing. Once you become on the other side of the scale, where you're now looked at for the central planners as people that are taken from their wealth, do you really think they're going to care about you? Do you really think they're going to fight for you? They will if you're the good little cash cow for them. But once you're the non-productive cow that is soaking up resources they want to keep for themselves, do you really think they're going to be there to provide for you, to protect you, to take care of you? No, because now you're the parasite. Now you're the one that's hampering and hindering their ability to sustain their own entitled lifestyles. I've been warning about this. I think this is probably going to be my 4th or 5th video warning the older generations, my parents' generation, to stop it. Your offspring, your future generation, your community, those around you that care for you, those are the people that you're going to be able to rely on in the future. Your so-called pension / Ponzi scheme, the money that your collective overlords stole from you all those decades, is not going to be there to protect you. It's not going to be there to provide for you in the future. It is at this point in time because the financial collapse of 2008 was to force all you people back into the market, back into the workforce, so that you weren't taken away from them. If the time ever truly does come, and I mean it will eventually, it's not just math, it's just age, it's just demographics, just reality. Once the bulk of your generation become part of the takers, not the givers, that's when you're going to see things dramatically change. That's where you're going to see where your power is going to drop off of a cliff, where you have none anymore. Why you don't want to believe me, why you still want to trust your collective overlords when they tell you, oh, don't worry, we'll take care of you later. Just keep being good little slaves. Don't worry, we'll take care of you later. Oppress all your young... Why you want to believe their fucking nonsense, their bullshit, their propaganda? I mean, surely you must realize how that they're predominantly made up of sociopaths. It's not too late. Build on your relationships with your immediate family and those that truly still care about you. Build on those. Forget about your fucking central planners and the Ponzi makers and schemers. Forget about them to take care of you. Make sure you have, redundancy built in so that you have your family and those that love you to take care of you. Don't put a priority on the thief. The parasitical class, the sociopaths, the control freaks. Don't rely on them to take care of you. You'll only be disappointed ultimately in the end. Rely on the people that truly care about you. That's the trick. That's the trick. Don't fight them. Don't look at it that your younger generations are competing for a small pot of wealth. Recognize that the younger generation represent the largest bulk of that wealth, because your wealth is going to soon cease to exist. Your productive wealth, which is all the central planners and your overlords care about. I plead with you to recognize and acknowledge this truth. It's of paramount importance that you do. If we all come together, we can get rid of the central planners, the snake oil salesmen. We don't even have to rely on them. Yeah, they've stolen from us. Yeah, they've robbed us. Hey, they've robbed me for multiple decades too. I wish I could prevent that. But a lot of you, because of your belief in central planning, have forced that onto successive generations. We're mad at you for it. We're not happy about it. But we'll still place a priority of taking care of you if you acknowledge your wrongdoing over defending or being part of the system. We'll never defend or be a part of the system. We need you to join with us, to show solidarity with us, and throwing off the shackles completely. We need to all throw off the shackles. I don't want shackles on you. I don't want shackles on me. I don't want shackles on my kids. I don't want shackles on any future generations. I know who's sponging up and taking all of our productive resources and using them for themselves. It's the central planners and those who benefit from them. Let's all come together. Let's show solidarity with each other. Doesn't matter. We don't have to agree with everything each other says. We just need to recognize that we don't need a whole band, a whole gang of thieves and parasites that have the power to manipulate and control. We don't need them. We need each other. It's Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.